All right, hopefully this is working. Okay, I started another one. I have no idea what's going on. It just ended for some reason, but hopefully you guys are all back. I'm so sorry. This is awful. No idea what's happening. Okay. Can you guys all give me a shout out if you can see me? What a mess. Traveling Solo says it's back now. All right, we're going to try this again. Sorry, guys. Oh my God. My worst nightmare. Angie, hi from Cape Cod. Hey, so glad you can make it with all of my issues. All right, Kate. Thank you. All right, hopefully we're good to go now. I'm not going to use that software ever again. All right. I think more people are getting back on here. So, all right, I'm just going to start because we're already like 15 minutes into it. Third time's a charm. Yay. So let me ask you guys a question. I had to start a new window. Are you having to go into a new window as well to see the live stream, or are you staying in the same window and the live stream just pops back up as live now? I'm just curious how that's working out on your end. North Carolina here from Tom Christian. Hey, Tom. Good to see you here. All right. So, Traveling Solo, I had to refresh your page to show the new live stream. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully this won't happen again. All right. Natasha says new window. All right. Pop up on my notification. Bob, I closed browser and opened again and clicked on your videos. Okay. Good. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your help. Wow, too many technical difficulties. That guy, sound is much better. Hey, Brian. Brian was in my last live stream. We had a Patreon-only live stream earlier today. Brian was on there. He is about to, I hope you don't mind, Brian, I'm going to give you a little shout out here. He's looking at doing van life as well and had some really great questions earlier about not only van life, but solo travel. So keep your questions coming, Brian. Grateful, new window, new notification. Okay. Very cool, guys. All right. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to back up to where I started earlier because I don't know if anybody heard it. So this live stream, I was going to do like 30 minutes and ended at 12:30 Pacific Standard Time, but we're kind of late in getting into this with all technical difficulties. So we'll just run, I guess, as long as we can. It's going to be a Q&A. So again, you guys can ask me questions. I'll provide some feedback to you guys about what I know. And then the second thing is I really need everybody's help. I'm actually doing an event called Full-Time Freedom Week, November 19th through the 23rd. They've asked me to be a speaker along with about 30 to 40 other RVers who are also experts in the industry, who've been doing this for a while and have their kind of own forte about what they know, whether it be from boondocking to working on the road, finding that perfect RV to budgeting. If you have a business, to having what do you do for taxes, when you have a business on the road. So there's all kinds of topics. And so what my topic is solo RVing, and I wanted to get some feedback from you guys about questions that you might have about solo RVing. So when I put together my my outline, I can include all of those. So I have a kind of a working list right now, but really wanted to hear from you guys what you thought. So if you don't mind, if we could start with the solo traveling, we can get that out of the way quickly, and then we can jump right into the Q&A. So just go ahead and fire away. What questions do you guys have about solo RVing? I won't answer them here. I'm going to answer them in my video then when I do my event with everybody. But if you could just give me some ideas about questions that you have, that will help me with my outline. Okay, so let's see. Boston Girl, good afternoon. Hey, Boston Girl. Kate, love the Hymer. Can you tell us how it's doing so far? I will in just a minute. Let's get the solo traveling questions out of the way really quick, and then I'll do the Q&A. Marvel Briscoe, happy to meeting you. Hey, so glad you're here. Safety tips. Natasha says safety tips for solo RVing. That's a great one. Safety tips. I'm writing these down as you guys are telling me. Fire away. What else do you have? So safety tips, I think I've actually done a video on that a little bit, more about kind of the fear wrapped around solo RVing. So that's one of the things that I'll talk about that's kind of wrapped around safety tips. Angie says, if I were you, I would cover how to handle a breakdown, RV type of road service, etc. Oh, that's a good one too. Thank you, Angie. Road service, breakdown. 78 Cardinal, hello. Glad you're here. Traveling solo, vehicle monitoring and security. Oh, okay. Yep. I like that one. And security. Perfect. Kate, how not to be lonely solo RVing. Yep, that's a big one. Thank you, Kate. Lonely solo RVing. Let's see. Grateful. How do you pack up, park safely without having another set of eyes to help? Oh, yes. That's a good one. Let's see. Packing. I'm just writing this down. Packing up safely without a set of eyes. Okay. Great. Angie. Do's and don'ts of traveling alone. Okay. Good one. Yeah, there's some of those that I have, like if I'm traveling alone, you know, making sure that people don't always know that I'm alone. If they see me from the outside. Let's see, Boston Girl, cover different tricks to make people think you are not solo RVing. Yeah, that's a good one. Some people actually put, women specifically, they'll put men's shoes out by the side of their door along with their shoes to make it seem like there's a guy there. And they have 2 sets of shoes out there. Those 2 people. These are so good. All right. Oh my gosh, you're sending them out so much I can't even write them all down. I'll have to come back to the chat and get them. All right. So thank you. Patricia, power usage and monitoring using your solo as a solo RVer. Solar as a solo RVer. Thank you. Great one. I'll get that one. Ray. Hey, family. Hello. Where 70, do you get scared during the night? Okay. I'm assuming that's a solo question. Bob Newhart, there are a lot of questions in the Facebook group. Corrado and Sunlights. One was adding seatbelts into the van. Adding seatbelts into the van. Is that for the solo or is that in general? Boston Girl, thumbs up. Ray, every time I see man's boots outside, I know that chick is alone. Great. I guess that's not a good one, huh? Where is Tiffany? Yes, solo question. Okay. Great questions, guys. Oh my gosh. All right. I think you guys gave me plenty. If you have more, go ahead. If you could, in the comment section, just put solo question and then or solo comment and then what the question is. And then I will add that to my list. So, wow. Thank you guys so much. And then we'll just go ahead and get into our live Q&A. I'm petting Lily, by the way, over here, if you guys see that. Come here, Lily. Everybody wants to see her. Come here. Ugh. Come on, girl. Oh, she's slipping on the pillow. There's Lily. Say hi, everybody. She's doing well. Her tail is healing. It's much better. Aww. Everybody loves her. She's like the star of the YouTube channel. Yeah, her tail's healing really well, so she's doing much, much better. No issues. So thanks, everybody, for your help with that and all your suggestions. All right, so let's see. That guy. Has anyone ever knocked on your door while you were sleeping, cop, etc.? So we're going to dive. I'm going to assume that that's I can put that as part of the solo. I can do a workup question about that, but I'm going to go ahead and answer that one here as part of the live Q&A. So if you guys want to go ahead and submit your questions for live Q&A, we'll get started with all that. Has anyone knocked on the door while you're sleeping? Okay. Let's see. No, I haven't had, I'm trying to think. I've had one time where someone knocked on my door, and it was actually, I was at a marina. It was not a cop. I was at a marina in Anacortes, Washington. There was no signs that said that you couldn't park there overnight. And I was trying to be, a little stealthy. And They did security knocked on my door in the middle of the night. Middle of the night was like 11:30 at night, but I was already in bed, and said I couldn't park there. There was actually an RV park just on the other side of the marina. That was part of the marina that you could go to. So I opted to just go find someplace. It was like $30, I think, for that. And I just didn't want to pay it. So I found some place in a neighborhood on the street, which I can do in my van because it's a little bit more stealthy, and it was a nice neighborhood. So I went over there. So a lot of times I'll go into, if I'm going to need to park someplace, it's going to be stealth camping and it's going to be in a neighborhood. I tend to go like, nighttime and then leave early. So people aren't like weirded out that there's some weird van or something in the area. Oh, you know what? Actually, speaking of that, I just remembered I was in Trinidad, California, and I was again parking. This time I was in a neighborhood. It was a spot that was on iOverlander that showed that you could park there. And I usually don't stay like in a neighborhood for more than like a day or two. But on this particular time, I stayed 3 days. And I never moved my van because I was working a lot, and I would just go out and like walk and, walk Lily and get some exercise and stuff. And a cop did knock on my door. The sheriff came into my door. A neighbor had called me in and said there was a van that had been there for a while. But interestingly, he said to me that in that particular county, you could stay for 10 days in one spot. It was not illegal to sleep in your van. So he just wanted to make sure everything was okay. And and neighbors do that, and I get it. So that's why I try not to spend too much time in a neighborhood like that because it weirds people out. So let's see. What do we have here? I got lost on my comments here. Kate and Boston Girls say, Lily, hi Lily. Angie, check out Creativity RV video on truckers. It was interesting. My friend got sucked in by a tractor trailer. Ooh, gosh. People don't realize the dangers with truckers. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one. She has some really great videos, but I'll take a look at that one. That's kind of scary. Grateful Road. Solo, what precautions do you take so you don't lock keys in the vehicle and don't miss things on your checklist before pulling out? Great one. I'll add that to the list. Thank you. Bob Newhart, seatbelts, safety. Sorry, not solo. A solo question from the group was what was needed when traveling with a firearm in the motorhome? Okay. So let's see. I can add that to the solo one. As far as firearms, I don't feel comfortable giving information on that. Each state is different, and of course, each country. If you're going into Canada or Mexico, so I don't really feel comfortable answering that. I'm not extremely knowledgeable in that area. Let's see. Grateful Solo. Do you pull a toad? I'm wondering how to hitch and unhitch safely alone. I don't pull a toad. I realize that you're asking that as a solo question. I don't pull a toad. I have the van, so I don't really have any need to pull anything. I will add that as part of the questions. Let's see, Mary Boggs. Hey, Mary. Good to see you here. Daryl, do you have an ideal end to your story chasing? I don't. It's funny. I get that question a lot. I feel like I just got started, so I don't have an end in sight. I don't really think about it too much, to be honest. So I'm having so much fun doing what I'm doing now. I have like hypothetically thought if I ever decided to settle back down that I might build like a tiny house somewhere, and then still keep my van so I can travel, like 6 months out of the year to like really great weather. Like for instance, I love Maine, and I had considered, maybe I could build a tiny house in Maine and just stay there like 3 or 4 months out of the year when it's really nice, and then just travel in my van like the other parts of the years down to the southwest area where it's warmer. But I don't know. I have no idea yet. Let's see. Angie Grace. How about getting sick as a solo traveler? Have you gotten sick? Any tips? Great one. I have gotten sick one time, and it was kind of difficult. I mean, I was actually at a live event with other escapers at the time, and it was last year when that flu season was really, really bad. And I somehow got that flu. So I ended up having to go to a doctor, and then I just I left. We were in Yuma, out on American Girl Mine, BLM land. It was really, really windy and sand was blowing everywhere. So I ended up going back to Quartzsite, staying there, went to a doctor, and then just hunkered down for like 2 weeks until I felt better. But I've never been so sick where I actually had to have someone really help me or be hospitalized. But I don't know, you just kind of find it within yourself to like figure it out and get through it. If I really needed more help, I have friends and family all over the place, so they would be there in a heartbeat. Let's see. That's part of the really great thing about Escapers Group, by the way, is you just have so many people that you know all over the place that you can call on them when you need them, and they'll be there for you in a heartbeat. Let's see. Ray, get the app called Legal Heat for firearm questions. Oh, great idea. Thank you. I'll have to mention that. Legal Heat. 30 and a wake up. Hey, Kevin. Glad you're back. Sorry for all the confusion. Apparently, third time's a charm. Andrea, hi from Boca Raton. Hello. Glad you're here. Bob and Hoover, I will post that in the group. Thanks, Ray. Good idea. Kate, solo. Okay, I'll add that, Kate. Thank you. Daryl, great answer. Thanks. You're welcome. Someone keeps asking me if I'm left-handed. I have no idea why. I get some of the funniest questions on here. Dana, hey, are you speaking at RTR? No, I'm not actually. The event that I was talking about is called Full-Time Freedom Week, and that's November 19th through the 23rd. I think that's the Thanksgiving weekend, actually. But I will put a link in the description box of this live stream video so you guys have access to that. 30 and a wake up. What is your favorite and at least favorite thing about the... what is your favorite and least favorite thing about the Hymer? Let's see. My favorite thing about the Hymer. Well, mostly that, I mean, it's not specific to Hymer, but it's the van, is that it's nimble. I can go anywhere I want. As far as it being Hymer, I think the best thing that I like about it is that it has the Volt Start system, which is the battery management. So I have Lily, and that's one of the great things that I loved about Hymer is that this Volt Start will actually monitor your batteries. If your batteries get down too low, it will actually turn your underhood generator on and allow the batteries to go back up. A lot of times I don't really need it unless I'm running the AC. So if I'm running the AC, then I would turn the Volt Start on. And that's why I was concerned about Lily is, leaving her in a car somewhere and it's hot outside and I need, her to have AC. So I would turn the Volt Start on for that. So that was one of the reasons I purchased the Hymer. One of the great things I liked about it. The least thing that I hate about it or I don't like about Hymer is, my refrigerator is really tiny and it has a door rather than a drawer. So it makes it really difficult to get in and out of. I don't want to say that that's probably my least favorite. It's one of the things I don't really like about it, but I wish it were higher off the ground. To me, it's too low to the ground. I kind of knew that when I bought it, but I don't think I realized like the propane tank is really low and how they seated the propane tank in there where the valve stem is kind of facing the ground almost a little bit, or it's not completely facing the ground, but it's angled out and it makes it difficult to get propane in it. So I wish that was higher. So hopefully that helps. Ray, the average full-timer lasts 3 to 5 years, some more, most less. It gets old and it isn't cheap as you think. Well, I don't know. That could be true. There are a lot of people who have been doing this for quite a long time, for 8+ years, and seem to really like it. But yeah, I think it's different for everybody. And as far as the cheapness factor, it's also dependent on each person, depending on your lifestyle, what kind of a rig you have. For me, this has turned out to be much cheaper than living in a regular house. So I'm saving quite a bit of money by living in a van and living on the road. I save money because I also don't stay in RV parks. So that's one of the lifestyle choices that you can make. If you stay in an RV park or stay in places where you're going to have to pay to overnight, then yes, your costs are going to be much higher. For me, I don't. I boondock. I stay on BLM. I stay in free places 99.9% of the time. Since I purchased this RV, this last May, I've stayed in a total of 2 spots where I had to pay, and it was just for very specific reasons. I was in areas where I didn't have a place to get water or dump my tanks, and I just wanted to rest. So that's what I did. I do know that being on the East Coast this next year, I will have to pay more because there's just not the BLM and National Forest land, all the free spots like we have here on the West Coast. So I save my money throughout that time so that when I do go to the East Coast, I'll end up paying for those particular spots. So state parks, I generally kind of stay away from the private RV parks just because your rigs tend to be a little bit closer together. If you're in a state park, not so much. You got a little bit more space in between, but it's dependent on each person. Angie, of course, singles want to know how to handle aloneness. Yep, I have that one down, Angie. I'll answer that at the event for sure. Kate, what are the things you need to prepare if you're planning to finance a Hymer Aktiv? Any requirements like how much down payment? So great questions. Definitely, I mean, the more money you have down, it's so dependent. This is such a personal thing too. Depends on your credit, depends on how much money you put down, depends on your negotiations with your Hymer, with your sales guy. There's so many things that depend on that, but I would say definitely have money down. The more money you have down, the quicker, if you're going to finance, the quicker you're going to be able to finance. Credit needs to obviously be good. The other thing too is if you're going to be a full-timer, now this is a big one. If you're going to be a full-timer, most lenders do not lend to full-timers. There's only about 2 to 3 lenders out there that will actually lend to full-timers. Bank of the West is the one that I went through. When I first purchased my RV last year, my Winnebago, I had a home, I had a vehicle. I wasn't considered full-time at that point. And so I got just a generic lender that doesn't necessarily deal with full-timers, and that was fine. But now that I sold my house, I sold my car, and I'm full-time, they can see that, and they'll, they say that you have to disclose that you're a full-timer. So go with a finance company that's going to let you get a loan through them if you're full-time. So that's the biggest thing. And I'm not exactly sure all the reasons why they don't like to lend to full-timers. I've heard like different stories, and I'm not going to even go into all of the stories because there's so many of them and I don't really know which ones are true. But that's probably my biggest advice to you is if you're going to be full-time, make sure you go with a lender that is a full-time lender. All right. Let's see, Ray. I have an RV, by the way, been doing it part-time for 3 years. I don't stay in RV parks either. Sometimes you're forced to, though. Yes, very true. Just depends on where you're at. I have the same issue too, Ray. If I'm in a particular area where I just can't find places to dump my tanks or get water, I'll just go stay in a state park and I'll consolidate everything. Like if I need to do laundry and take showers and dump all of the tanks, I'll go pay because it's cheaper than just going to pay to get water sometimes. So I'll just do it all at once. Angie, I'll have a free spot for you on the East Coast if you want to visit Cape Cod. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Angie. I appreciate it. I will definitely be there sometime this next year. I'll have to look you up. Ray, don't ever buy new. You will lose a ton of money. Most RVs are half price of MSRP when they are 4 years old. Yes, I was told that also when I first bought, and I didn't listen. I bought new and then new again. But Hymer, you kind of had to buy new because it's only been out in the market for 2 years. There weren't any used ones. So yeah, I lost money on my first one, but I was buying something that I really wanted going into the Hymer, and I was okay with it. I mean, I don't like losing money, but it was just the fact of what I wanted to do. And I figured I was going to lose money at some point, no matter what. So yes, if you're just starting out in RVing, I would definitely say if you're first starting out and you don't know what you want, which a lot of times, like I thought I knew what I wanted with the Class C. I thought I was going to have this RV for a long time, and figured the space was great and everything. But it wasn't until I got out on the road that I figured out kind of my traveling style and how I live, either outside or inside, and all the things that I really felt like I needed until I got out on the road. So I think it's great advice to buy used actually when you first start out. And if you're going to still trying to figure out, like, even if this is the life that you want, because you won't lose as much money if you decide to sell it and trade it in for something else, or just decide not to do the lifestyle at all. Donna Gibson, I love your posts and your comments. Oh, thank you, Donna. Bob Newhart, speaking on getting your van towed or out of the sand, show your boards to assist and the eyelet, the screws into the bumper, etc. I got sucked in the sand and it was a real learning experience. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do a video on the. So what he's talking about is, I think, my Max Tracks, right? The Max Tracks are these long orange boards with these huge like nubby spike things on them that you can shove underneath your tires when you get stuck in sand, and it will help you get traction. It also, you can like flip it over and shovel sand out. So it has multiple uses. But Max Tracks, someone told me about Max Tracks after I got stuck twice in my other RV. And I bought them for the Hymer and actually have them underneath the head part of my mattress. So that's where I store them. So they're kind of out of the way. But yeah, I got those just in case, because I was like, I'm not getting stuck again. The first time I was lucky, there was a guy that was in the neighboring land who had a backhoe, and he actually pulled me out. When I was in Yuma and got stuck on BLM land and sand, where literally almost the back end of my RV was on the ground. It was pretty frightening, to be honest. And I had to get a tow out, and that cost me $300, because even if you have roadside assistance, so this is interesting about roadside assistance. If you have roadside assistance, they will come and tow you out or bring gas to you, or, change a tire or whatever. But a lot of them specifically say if you're more than 100 feet off of a paved road, they will not pay for it. They'll come out, but you're going to have to pay for that service. So I was on paved road, got off onto a dirt road onto BLM, and I was more than 100 feet off of a paved road. So I ended up having to pay $300 to get out of the sand. So Max Tracks were a little under $300, so I figured it was a good investment, so I don't have to pay for another tow in case I get stuck in sand again, which could happen. I hope not. I feel like I've learned my lessons in a lot of ways. Now I have like walking poles. I'll go out and like test the sand around the areas that I may park in, and before I actually go out there. And one of the things I learned too is, if you think that you might get stuck, don't stop. And two, if you do stop, don't gun the engine several times, which is what I did. And I just got stuck even more. All right, let's see. Kate, I love the smart layout of the Hymer. Yes, it's a pretty cool layout. I like it too. It has pretty much everything I wanted. So behind me, this wall is the bathroom. I think that's the only part that maybe I don't like about it, that keeps it where it's not completely open, but I don't know what they would have done otherwise. So it's nice to have the bathroom, a sink and the toilet and a shower if you're in the shower and stuff like that. But I think if I had to do it all over again and like make my own, I probably wouldn't have put a wall there and would have figured out some other way to accommodate that. So, Kate, you sent me a super chat. Thank you. It's my first one. Have to see more of your entertaining videos. They're awesome. Thank you. Aw, thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's my first super chat. Someone asked me the other day why I don't get super chats. I don't advertise them, but I obviously appreciate them. So thank you so much, Kate. Let's see. Daryl, I realize the USA is huge, but have a thought of continuing your journey into Europe. Daryl, I did actually. So when I bought the Hymer Aktiv van, I thought that I might actually ship it to Europe at some point. I'm still undecided about that. It would be something that would be a long ways off, because I have my dog Lily, and I'm not going to get rid of her, but I don't want to take her to Europe just because of the things that you have to do to bring animals over there. So I'm not sure just yet, but we'll see. It's a possibility. I have thought of it. If I don't do that, my other thought was that I would not have an RV at all and then just travel and go to a bunch of Airbnbs. I'm going to give a shout out to, if you saw him on here, 30 and a Wake Up. His name is Kevin. Kevin, are you still here? 30 and a Wake Up. He actually is going to do just that, where he's going to stay in one place for 30 days at Airbnbs all around the world. So he's got a cool channel. Go check him out. I love his story. In fact, you will be seeing an interview with him in the next maybe a couple of months. We'll see. Kevin and I are still working it out. But great guy and great channel. Bob Newhart, did the Sumos help? Yes, they really helped. They gave me that 1-inch lift in the back, which I don't know if you guys saw the video, but gave me a 1-inch lift in the back, really cut down on that sway. And so I was able to really feel the sway of the vehicle from May to, I guess it was August, before I went over onto Highway 101 and 1 down the West Coast. And yay, 30 and wake up. So, I could feel the difference definitely because, you're twisting and turning through 101 and 1, and I could definitely feel the difference of it not, swaying so much through the turns. It really, really helped out a lot. Absolutely like them. I'm still undecided about the front ones. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a shake when I go uphill, but I'm not 100% sure that that's why. So I'm undecided about that one. I don't know yet. I don't feel like anything's really changed with that one. And I don't know if it's because I installed both of them at the same time, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Kate, thank you again. Angie Grace, I drove cross country alone and would have gone mad if I didn't have Siri radio and listen to talk radio to feel like there was someone with me. You could talk about how you fight boredom driving. Oh, that's a good one. Thank you. Yeah, I have Sirius radio as well, which I really love. It actually came with the Hymer for I think a year or two. I can't remember. But I actually listen to Audibles as well. If you guys have Audibles, that's a good one too. And it's a good Christmas gift and birthday gift. Like people ask me or my friends and family, like, I don't know what to get you. You're in a van. You don't want any like tangible items. And I was like, oh, well, so my favorite go-tos are Audibles and Amazon gift certificates, or Massage Envy is like all over the place. So I'm like, any of those gift certificates are great. But I listen to Audibles too. I love them, actually. I can listen to stories and stuff along the way. But it's interesting if I'm in a really great place, like say when I was in Yellowstone, I won't even listen to music when I'm going through Yellowstone because I'm just taking in so much of the beauty. It's just, I don't even want to focus on an Audible or even the music. It just, I don't know. I just want to hear like everything that's outside. But yeah, that's a good one. Boston Girl, is there a big difference with insuring a fifth wheel trailer versus a Class A, Class B, or Class C? I'm not 100% sure on that one because I can tell you from my experience with Class C versus Class B, there was really no difference except the value of the vehicle because they're going to insure also based on the value of your vehicle. On both of the Class C and Class B, I had a full-timers insurance. So to give you guys an idea, when I had my vehicle, before getting my RV, I had what did I have? A Nissan Rogue. It was a little SUV vehicle. It was pretty new. And I paid right around $65 a month for that. And when I got the Class C, the Winnebago Class C, my insurance went up to like $85 a month. And then when I got the Hymer, I'm right at about $100 a month for that one. So value was higher on the vehicle, which made my insurance higher. But that's including full-timers insurance, which if you guys aren't aware of what full-timers insurance is, it will cover all of your contents and everything in the vehicle if things get stolen. It'll also cover if you are in a wreck or something happens to your main, vehicle, right? Your whole van. And you need a hotel. It'll pay for a hotel. It'll pay for rental cars. There's all kinds of things that it will pay for. So I have that on here as well. So I think that was too bad. $100 a month, so $1,200 a year. But I'm not sure about trailers. Let's see. Great question. So that guy, if you needed to work in the seat, you're in 4 hours straight, would it still be comfortable? Yeah, I haven't had any problems in mine. So I have the 2 captain's chairs in the front that flip around, and then I have this bench seat that I'm on. I will sometimes go between both of those throughout the day. I also will hop up on the bed. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen any recent pictures that I have on social media where I'm at the beach and I have the back doors completely open and the screen down. So I get this beautiful view, and I'll hop up on the bed and work back there, or take a chair and outside and work. So there's all kinds of places to work. If I'm in an area where there's picnic tables, I'll go out there and work. So, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of move around a lot, to be honest, because it just depends on where I'm at and if I'm indoor or outdoor. But just strictly speaking, inside, I've been absolutely comfortable in the Hymer. I've had no issues with being comfortable in here. Let's see. Oops, I think I'm losing track of our questions here. You're welcome, 30 and Wake Up. Ray. I did the 101 from Astoria to Eureka last month. Wow, we were probably on the road at the same time because I was there too. I did Astoria all the way down to SoCal. Took my time in certain areas, moved through California a little bit quicker for no real reason, just did. Bob Newhart, probably the front wheel drive and is stiffer now that you feel it. That didn't hurt your gas mileage like the tires, I would hope. Nope, I haven't seen any change in my gas mileage at all with the Sumo Springs. Kate, do you watch movies or TV shows on your TV, Netflix or Hulu? So it does come with a TV, which you guys can probably see that's up here. And I have a DVD. So I watch occasionally through that. And actually, it also flips around to where you can watch it in the bedroom. But I don't generally watch a ton of TV or movies. Just depends. Like lately, I've kind of been in one place, so I've been watching a little bit more. And I'll use Netflix or Amazon Prime. I don't have Hulu, but I don't know. I feel like I have kind of a plethora of things to watch, whether it's on the TV, DVD, or Amazon or Netflix. So that works for me. But I work, and then watch that or hang out with people. Jack, this is really cool. Oh, so glad you like it. Do you have some questions, Jack? Angie Grace. And let's see. I would love a list of, let's see, there any free camping that doesn't have a 2-week limit. I like staying put for at least a month. So let's see, Angie. Depends on where you're at. Each place is different, but most BLM says a 14-day stay limit. National Forest can be the same. It just depends on where you're at. They have different rules. So you could move like not too far down the street in a BLM from one BLM to the other and be fine. There have been times like when I was in Quartzsite, and I think it was December of this last year, I was there for almost 2 months, but I was in different spots, and I went up to Lake Havasu for a little bit and then came back down. At the time, there was nobody really monitoring that, and I'm not suggesting that just because they're not monitoring that you should do it. But my point is that nobody was there at that time, so they don't really care. But when there's a ton of people there, and there's limited space at that point, then that's when they really start to care. So you just have to be careful then and make sure you stay within their guidelines and stuff. And usually the rangers are pretty cool. If you ask them if you can stay an extra couple of days or something like that, they're usually pretty great about allowing you to stay as long as there's plenty of room. So I've had chats with them before about that. And so this last time when I was there for a couple of months and there was all that space, I talked to the camp host there and one of the BLM rangers, and they were completely fine with it. So as far as specific places, I don't really know specific places that would let you stay that long. You just have to kind of feel out each area. Let's see, Ray. I use a Sling TV, stream through my phone connected to my TV via HDMI adapter. Oh, very cool. Sling TV. I don't know what that is. What is that? Deb, what state did you choose as a domicile and why? Deb, I'm actually still a Washington state resident, and I am moving my domicile to Florida. I think this February or March after I get back from Mexico. I chose Florida because there's 3 states in the U.S. that are really good for RVers. So there's South Dakota, Florida, and Texas. Texas would have been a great choice because I have family there. And it's kind of middle of, all of the states in between when you're in the South. So I figured it was a state that I would be in more often if I needed to get there for some reason. However, they require you to come in and do an inspection on your vehicle once a year. Now, I think their rule is even though it's once a year, let's say you're in New York and your inspection comes due, they're not asking you to come right down to Texas and do it right then. It's just that when you come to Texas and within 3 days of getting there, you have to do your inspection. But So I thought about doing Texas even with that clause. However, when I started looking at health insurance, they do not have a nationwide health insurance plan that's part of the Affordable Care Act. Florida does, though. So Florida has a similar rule with their inspections, but they have a nationwide health insurance plan. So for that reason, that's why I chose Florida. And I figured if it's a place that I could probably, swing to within, a very short amount of time if I needed to, especially if I'm in the Southwest during the winters or somewhere in the South during the wintertime. So that's the reason why I chose it, really because of the health insurance. Randy's back. Oh, yay, Randy. We lost you. Layla. Hello. Hey, Layla. Janet, what do you miss since being on the road? What do I miss since being on the road? I'm trying to think. What do I miss? Yeah, so there's probably a couple of things. So because I'm in the van and I don't take showers in here, even in my Class C, even though I took showers in there, you don't have unlimited hot water for showers. You have, your water heater and you can get hot water, but you take military showers. So just standing under a hot shower or my sunken bathtub that I had in my house and taking a big old bubble bath, like I miss that for sure. But you can still get the hot showers at other places. I've gone to recreation centers, to state parks, even truck stops. Some truck stops have really nice showers. I've been to like the Flying J's, and they have showers that rival spas. Like, it is so nice. It's really, really. I took a picture actually one time and put it on social media and said, "Is this a truck stop or a spa?" And everybody said spa. It wasn't. It was a truck stop. So unlimited hot water there. So I don't know, you figure out ways to mitigate it. Haven't had a bath in a bathtub though, so I do miss that. Let's see, Patricia, solo RV food cooking planning. So you aren't carrying a lot of leftovers. Oh, great idea for the solo speaking thing. Thank you. I'll add that to the list. Angie, thank you. Do you have a favorite state to winter? So last year was my first winter. So I can't say I have a favorite yet, but I can tell you what I did. I stayed in Quartzsite, Arizona, Lake Havasu, Arizona, just all throughout Arizona, a little bit of New Mexico and California, Southern Cal. Those seem to be the states for wintering. It gets a little cold sometimes at night, but I don't know yet. I'm going to be going to the East Coast this year, kind of in the middle of winter, so I'll be able to answer your question a little bit better then. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Let's see. Randy, Amber. Have you met anyone with a Hymer Aktiv loft model? I have not yet, although there are some people in our Hymer group that I believe just purchased the loft, but I don't know enough information about it to say like whether they like it or not. I kind of looked at it before purchasing this one myself. The thing that turned me away from it was the fact that the solar panels are portable rather than on the roof. Some people are okay with just taking solar panels out all the time and sticking them outside. For me, I just wanted to be a little bit more nimble and not have to deal with that. And I don't, it's just me. I don't really have to have the loft, so it wasn't a big deal for me to not have it. But I've heard really great things about it. Is that something that you're looking into purchasing? Deb, she's okay, thanks. I'm trying to decide. Really good. Mila, is that how you pronounce your name? Hi from Indonesia. Hello. So glad you're here. Kate, hair color looks good on you. Matches your shirt. I remember you being masterful. What? I'm trying to think. Yeah. It's kind of brown and red. You're so funny, Kate. Loft has no AC. Oh, it has no AC. I didn't know that. Yikes. I wouldn't want that either if it didn't have an AC though. But it depends on where you're at. Like, I don't use my AC very much. I try not to stay in places where I need my AC. So, everybody's different with that. Ray says, how much solar is on the Hymer? Mine has 250 watts, I think. Yeah, 250 watts. Which is interesting because when I had my Class C, I had 750 watts on it. 4 AGM batteries, where this has 250 watts on top and 2 lithium batteries. And I feel like I'm completely fine with it. Now, there are times where I'm charging a lot of stuff in here, and I cook mostly electric. I don't use my gas stove. I use a portable induction cooktop, an Instant Pot, or pretty much everything electric, because I'm getting free energy from the sun. So I tend to use it up a lot. But it's interesting because it only shows voltage, not percentage of use on your battery or where you're at in your battery life. And so I really would like to get a battery monitoring kit that would show that. So I feel like on my other RV, the 750 watts that I had versus the 250 watts now probably was a bit overkill for what I had, but I didn't know at the time. And so I just got like as much as I could. It probably would have been better to have lithium batteries on that rather than AGM, but AGMs were cheaper for me and I was investing so much already. I just went with the AGMs. So having the lithiums, the difference between the AGM and the lithium is, and you might already know this, but for those who don't, AGMs, you can only discharge down to 50% of the battery, else it can harm the battery. So you can only discharge 50%. With lithium, you can discharge all the way and you're fine on the lithiums. So I don't have to really monitor that now, which is great. But it seems to work for me. There are times on really cloudy days that I have to start the engine and the underhood generator to get some more juice to the batteries. But overall, I think it's fine. I have considered adding maybe another panel if possible, or exchanging out a panel for a bigger one. But I'm not sure. So far, it seems good. All right. Oops, we're getting lots of more questions here. So Randy, I love the idea of sleeping upstairs in the loft. Yes, I know that sounds really cool. Being able to like see the stars and kind of feel like you're out more in nature with the screens and stuff. That's cool. Angie, don't come to the East Coast. It's awful in the winter. You'll be sorry. Oh, well, I'm going to be down. I won't be there in the winter. I'm going to be down in Florida to do the domicile. So I'll probably stay there and then I'll come up the East Coast as weather permits. So yeah, I won't be there during snowy season for sure. Randy, I'm in North Carolina, cold, damp. I'd like to be in Arizona this winter. Yeah. Ugh. It's very humid there too, I think, right? Is it really humid, like even in the wintertime? Dana, did you say you're going to Mexico? When and where are you driving the Hymer there? Yes, Dana, I'm going to Mexico with the Escapers group. It's last part of January through first part of February. We're there for 10 days in San Felipe. It's the Baja Peninsula area. And I personally wouldn't go by myself, so I wanted to go with a group, and I am taking the Hymer. But we're all caravanning down together. In fact, we're doing it after we have 3 events in January. So we're doing it kind of like almost right after one of our other events, like a week in between. So yes, I will be going there. And if you guys are interested, just FYI, because I know we're talking about it here, Escapers, if you haven't joined and you're RVing and you want to go to Mexico, it is sold out right now, but there's a waiting list you can get on. It's sold out within like hours of it going live because a ton of people wanted to go. So, but get on the list if you want to join Escapers and find out all of the other convergences that are happening. We've got so many that are happening all around the nation, and they actually just started new ones where you could do like these little weekend get-togethers too, which are kind of fun. All right, so let's see. Angie's talking to Randy. Okay, warmer than winter it seems. Yes, Florida is. Lady J, East Tennessee, nasty days, cold, wet, and yuck. Is that in the wintertime, I'm assuming? Ray, I got 300 watts on mine with 2 6-volt deep cycle AGM batteries, more than enough. Oh wow, that's great. 300 watts. And do you have battery monitoring kit, I'm assuming? Randy J says, yes, so true. I'm originally from Western Colorado, so I'm still not used to the Eastern humidity. Ugh, I know. When I went out to the Eastern states last year, I remember, where was I at? Maybe Ohio or Pennsylvania. Oh my God, I couldn't believe the humidity. It was nuts. It was really crazy. And there's a lot of humidity here. Can you see my hair? I actually curled it today a little bit, and it's like stick straight. Ugh. That's my hair. It's stick straight. It's very fine. Let's see. Randy. Oops, I'm Randy L. Sounds like sandal. Oh, did I say that? I didn't mean to. I apologize. Randall, yes, the Carolinas are very humid, especially in summer. Winters can even have snow in the mountains. I don't like that. I don't like humidity, but I'm still going to go, even though I don't like it. Do you have the Escapers Boondockers list? Can I get a copy of it? Escapers Boondockers list. You mean the convergences? It's just escapers.com. It's XSCAPERS, escapers.com. And if you go to their events section, you'll see all of the convergences there. Let's see. Randy, I may rejoin Escapees. There are more parks out west. A lovely one, Deming, New Mexico. Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one. Randy, I love your hair. Mine is very curly, especially in the east. My little Maltese has this straight hair, lol. Yeah, oh my God. All right, guys, we're coming up on 50 minutes, almost an hour here on the live stream. Questions are starting to dwindle. Any other questions before we go? I appreciate everybody's time on here and bearing with me during my technical difficulties. This is my third stream today after the first one didn't work. Any other questions? Let's see. Angie, would a 60-year-old feel out of place with escapers? It seems all young people. No, we have older people in there too. You're not old at 60, by the way. Yes. It's a so the escapers group was started for, so escapees is the traditional kind of retired, go buy a Class A and hang out in RV parks. And I'm probably generalizing a little bit there, but that's not completely what it is. But there was third generation owners of escapees that were, I think, like in their maybe late 20s, early 30s, and realized that there was a market for what we call the escapers group, which was people who are maybe still working. You can be retired, but not necessarily that typical retiree age. And you like to, you're more active. You're out on BLM land, boondocking. You can still be staying in RV parks too. But it's just a different vibe, I guess. So yeah, it's a good group. It's very inclusive and just a great group. So yes, you would be totally fine in that group. Ray, the skippers have a list of boondocking locations, but they charge more for it. People give them free locations and they charge. I know, Ray, they have the actual list for different parks. Is that what you're talking about? I'm familiar with this boondocking location list. Oh, maybe it's Boondockers Welcome. Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure. Randy L. I don't know if I'm even saying that right. Amber, do you know if any van builders who are reasonable? Well, I know one person. She's the Gala Van. She's on YouTube. Her name is Joni, and she has a custom build out company. She did her own, and you can actually see hers. So if you go to Galavan on YouTube, you'll find her. She's the only one that I know of, actually. But she does a great job. Her rig is absolutely amazing. And there's been a couple of van tours of her rig. And I'd be happy to, if you send me an email, if you can't find her for some reason on YouTube, send me an email at amber@storychasing.com and I will give you her information. Let's see, Dana, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. Don't forget to put the link for where you're speaking. Oh, yep, I will. Dana, thank you for reminding me. Angie Grace, I'm 69, still full-time traveling. Class C, I'm slowly. Okay, Ray. You can get a battery monitor that plugs into your cigarette lighter adapter. It feeds the battery and also the room temperature. Oh, very cool. Thank you. All right, everyone. Well, that's a wrap. I appreciate everyone, and I hope you have a great weekend. Again, thanks for sticking with me through all the technical difficulties, and I will post a link to the Full-Time Freedom Week if you guys want to sign up for that, and it's coming up in November. Thanks again for all the advice as well on the solo traveling, RVing, and tips and stuff, so I will definitely include a lot of your suggestions. So thanks, everyone. Bye.